Well, I guess I just go cross town.
Oh, don't let me chase you. I made a promise to Miss Lydia here and dropped by to make good on it.
Well, and I know you would, too. Now, Melvin Patterson's a man to keep his word, I can tell you that much. Now, we was working as Pullman car porters, don't you know?
That long? You've been knowing each other that long?
Left home together.
We out there loading baggage. Bright Sunday day, middle of July. When, Lord have mercy, didn't we spot this fine, comely-looking thing cross on the other side, looking like a lost sheep if ever I saw one? Well, fool that I be, I pointed out to old Mel in here.
I won't like that, you know it. We both saw her.
No, 10 to 1, I have her cooking my dinner before you. That's what he said. Now, don't you know, I took him up on the bet. Before I could bat eye the station master at the window. See, tapping for me to come into the office. I don't have to tell you, we old stick in the mud went right smack over there to that fine young lady.
And he won the bet. You too slow, Deacon Holloway.
Well, maybe so, Miss Frazier, but she just cooked my dinner. She married him.
Nancy?
Well, I wasn't going to mention that part.
A fine man, that Brother Holloway. Yeah. A fine man. Such a willing worker. I had just called him to
Miss Frazier,
come over when he...
I said I'd fix that floorboard.
Oh, well, now, I couldn't expect you to do that.
I brought all my tools, and I went home just as fast as I could, got my hammer, picked up some nails on the way over here. You needn't call, Estelle. I said I'd do it.
Well, there's no need for you to carry on, Mr. Patterson.
There's plenty of reason for need. I mean, old folks, we gotta trust one another. I say I'm gonna do something, I mean to do it. Don't need no holy roller mouthful of honey nigga come doing for me.
Well, now, I ain't used to that kind of talking here, Mr. Patterson. Brother Holloway was simply doing me a favor, doing his Christian duty like he saw it. And I, Lord knows, I don't know why you carrying on like this.
Miss Frazier, I can't give you nothing except my word. Now, fixing this floorboard was something I could do for you, something I wanted to do for you because you're a nice lady and I appreciate what you're doing for me. Yes, I know I paid the rent and I'm going to continue to do that and right on time, but them few pennies ain't nothing compared to what you were offering to me. Your home, and I hope your trust. Now, we don't need no Estelle Holloway come creeping around here doing for us. We can do for ourselves.
That's another thing, Mr. Patterson. I've given it some thought, and I don't think I'm quite ready for rumors just yet. I mean, the bed, it is too little for a man, and
well,
the
I've got this friend over on the avenue, deals in second-hand things, don't you know? And I probably could find me something that'll do me just fine. Probably even get a few pennies, but the one you got up there, I'm not a difficult man, Miss Frazier.
I don't want to rent the room. I mean, it's not that you're not a fine person and all, but, and if I was of a mind to rent it, well, I would really want somebody.
Now, there ain't no need for you to go on apologizing like that. I kind of expected you to slam the door in my face when I came in here this afternoon. I mean, that's the way it is with you church folks, ain't it? All the time got a mouthful of goodness for them what's dead and don't need nothing, but Lord have mercy, don't let a breathing, living soul ask you for a doggone dime. Y'all turn tail every time. Run off someplace and pray to somebody else, anybody else. Come along and take care of them what you done turned down.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't mean to.
Slap me in my face? You didn't want me to feel that I wasn't good enough to stay in the same house with you, ain't that right? You just want me to go, quietly, with a smile on my face. Well, you got what you wanted.
Mr. Patterson, the money. You forgot the money.
You know, it don't do to believe everything you hear, Miss Frazier.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't you think I don't know them too, what was just in here? Don't you think I don't know how they done poison your mind, telling you all kinds of lies and things?
Patterson, I ain't a worldly woman. Fact is, I ain't been out this city in more than 35 years. There's a whole lot of things I don't know about. Different kind of people I ain't never met. But there's one thing I do know about, and that's liars. Now, you call me a hypocrite. Well, I don't profess to have no wings, so I just might be what you say. But you come in here on a lie.
Of course I did.
Ostell ain't sent you here.
Woman, do you know what it is not to know where you're going to lay your head from one day to the next? There ain't no rooms to be had out there. Not when you're old and by yourself. Folks don't want to be bothered. They're afraid they're going to wake up some morning and find you laying up there dead or sick. 'Cause I lied. Fact is, I didn't even think you'd let me in that front door if I didn't send some old sad-ass deacon on in front.
You ain't got no place to stay?
Well, I'll be all right. Rooms don't cost but $3 a night. I'll be just fine.
Well, now, it don't seem right that you should have to look for a place this late in the day. I did make you a promise. You can stay a week.
A week?
Well, that's if you found a place by then.
Oh, that should be plenty of time, Miss Frazier. I do want to thank you.
Well, I'm just doing my Christian duty, Mr. Patterson.
And what I said back there, I hope you know I was just talking off the top of my head. I mean, when you're angry, you say things that, well, you are a fine lady, Mrs. Frazier. You know, you and me, we're something that the rest of the world done left behind. So we got to do for ourselves. Truth to be told, when they come here to take you and me away, there ain't gonna be nothing but strangers holding on to that box.
Well, I guess I can be a bit more hospitable than at Father Divine's. Is something wrong?
No, I was just waiting. Figured maybe you was going to give me the rules.
Oh, yes.
You know,
yes.
most folks, they give you the do's and don'ts right off.
Well, I mean to.
The decent hours.
That's right. And clean up after yourself in the kitchen.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd appreciate it if you put the trash out every Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is, if you don't mind.
Mind, Miss Frazier, I'll put them out on Wednesdays and Fridays, too, if I have to.
It's the first door on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't pick up trash only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Well, you can ignore me if you want, but I'm telling you the truth. Men like Mail and Patterson don't do nothing but prey on old women. Move in with them and take them for everything they got. Sally Hempstead, you remember her? Lonzy left her well off. And when she died, they put her in a pauper's grave.
Well, I may not be worldly, but I ain't foolish.
Malin lived with her. You ask him if you think I'm lying. He'd get his check and give it all to them chippies. What for? I don't even want to put my mind to it. Because he certainly was too old to play a man's part.
Oh, Sarah.
Of course, you might know something I don't. After all, it ain't my house he's living in.
It's enough of that talk, too. The things you say.
Well, there ain't nothing what ain't the gospel truth. You think I wouldn't like to have a man around that old shack of mine? Folks think when you get old, you're supposed to dry up, lose all your feelings. Supposed to be content to be by yourself. Well, I ain't. No. Sometimes I feel like I could grab one of them old deacons out of that church and lock him up in the house forever. So that's why I know you let this man come into your life, Lydia. Ain't we getting along? Don't I take care of you? You're the mother of the church. We always get along, don't we, Lydia?
Oh, Sarah, my taking in a room don't mean I'm gonna close my door to my friends. You welcome here anytime you choose to come.
It's a good thing the Lord sends down somebody to take care of fools. Get the check ready. I'll take it to the bank. That man made me so mad yesterday, I've almost forgot it.
You didn't take it with you?
Ain't that what I just finished telling you? I went down to the bank, and Miss Johnson was waiting for me at the window. And she said, You mean to tell me with that man in this house, you left that check laying out here?
Well, if you didn't take it, it should be right there.
Man ain't been in this house 24 hours, and already your stuff started to take feet.
Now, I left that envelope right here on this table. I know I did.
I remember because he was standing right there holding that old beat-up bag.
Now, you don't know for sure Mr. Patterson took it. It don't do to be running people down like that.
Well, I still didn't take it, and I sure hope to God you don't think that I did.
I ain't thinking nothing. And what's more, I ain't gonna think about it until I get a chance to talk to that man.
Oh, yes. And he's just gonna come out and say, well, yes, ma'am, Miss Lydia, I took your check, but I didn't think you would mind living in this fine house and all. Oh, Lydia, don't be no fool. Put that nigga in the street.
It's a mighty fine day out there today, Miss Lydia. Don't see how y'all can stay in here all day with the shades all drawn. Need to let some sun shine in.
Well, where'd you get that?
I don't see as how that's any of your business.
It'll be my business when the cops come rolling around.
Sarah.
Lydia, you don't know this man like I do.
I don't expect there's anybody in this town that knows me like you do, Sarah Williams. But I paid for this.
With what? You ain't never had two nickels to rub against another.
That'll be enough.
Now, we can leave it right here. That way we both can look at it.
Most shows come in color. Remember about that thing.
Oh, I just don't know what gets into Sarah sometimes.
Nothing but the devil, if you ask me.
Well, she had no call to. I mean, I just don't understand it when she
Miss
gets in her
Lydia.
moods like this.
I ain't steal nothing.
I never thought you did. I never thought you would.
Well, it ain't quite all paid for altogether. What I mean to say is I just paid half. No, I saw how you didn't have no entertainment. And believe you me, I know how lonely it can be with nobody in the house and nothing to stir up the quiet. So I have this friend over on the avenue. Deals in second-hand things, kind of, don't you know? Well, most of them work quite good, only they're a little bit used, you understand? So today I seen this sitting right up there in the corner, and I thought maybe you might...
Oh, Mr. Patterson, I appreciate that, but I couldn't let you. I mean, that's a goodly piece of money, second-hand or no.
Well, I only had $20. I mean, after paying my rent and all. So I just thought that, well, maybe what with my check and your check put together, we might both could spare enough to...
My check, Mr. Patterson?
Well, your part is only half, only $20. And he said he'd wait for that. And of course, when I go, it'd still be yours.
Oh, well, I hadn't planned on spending no extra money this week, and I wouldn't feel right keeping the whole thing. And
my part is your birthday present.
My present? How did you know?
The church program. I saw it here today. Here it is, says here, birthdays of the month, Mrs. Lydia Frazier, the church mother.
Oh, now, I just don't see as how I can give back such a fine present now, can I?
Miss Lydia, I didn't mean no harm.
Oh, I fixed you something to eat. You can sit there.
I'll sit when you do.
Oh. Now I just take off my apron. This special occasion, you know.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You may bless the table, Mr. Patterson.
Bless what? Oh, yeah. Dear Lord, bless this food and the good feelings that, I mean, amen.
Jesus wept. They used to give me a bouquet for my birthday every year down at the church.
Oh?
I guess they just forgot last year.
Well, my birthday in March. And most of the times I have me a birthday party every year. Of course, most of the times I'm pretty by myself, too, but I have myself a ball just the same.
I never had a party. Not no real one, I mean. Not even when I was young. My father, he didn't believe in Christian folks raising all that sand, acting a fool, he called it. You go to church, Mr. Patterson?
Well, not no more, I don't. I did down home. I even did a little preaching every now and then. But I come up here and it won't the same.
Now, I don't mean no harm, but Jesus, he don't